And so what's also been really fascinating about this process is to see how the tool itself affects the management process and creates an opportunity to help the principal recipient or the CCM or the subrecipient think about management and oversight differently. Because it's sort of like, a new cell phone or something. It's so pretty and exciting and people are attracted to it because it's modern technology. But what it also does is it creates the opportunity to follow performance over time, to compare performance between implementers, whether they're SRs or PRs, and to ask questions. Why is this SR performing poorly? Why aren't we finding more patients? Or look at that, we are running out of this particular health product. And then the real challenge is to get people to take action, because the dashboard has to lead to improved management. That's really what it's supposed to be for. Just like when you were at Pepsi-Cola, you were gathering all of that information about sales so that you could improve delivery, sell more appropriately. I mean, it has a purpose. It's not just a display.
One of the things we learned is that there's a tendency for users, once they see the possibility of a tool, to want to put more stuff into it, and to want it to do more things. And so to really discipline oneself to stay true to the original purpose of the tool, the original intent of the tool, and to keep reminding users that this tool is meant for X or for Y, and it's not meant to do everything. And so that we really want to limit the data and the functionalities of the tool to its purpose, to its intended purpose.
I'd like to highlight, I think, one component of the dashboard that has made it successful in Senegal is the fact that it was designed for PRs and SRs and not for global fund reporting. Therefore, the PRs and the SRs tailor the tool and the way they use this tool to what fits best to their needs. The challenge, I think, is to make sure that it is used consistently, and when we know that there are lots of changes, that the global fund evolves really quickly, and when I talk about the global fund, I talk about the partnership, and so at country level and regionally, globally, and therefore a tool that is useful needs to sometimes evolve with it, and I hope that this tool will be able to evolve at the speed that the global fund is moving at.
And then one other thing I'd like to add is just in terms of challenges for scaling up, is making sure that you have an adequate mechanism for providing technological support to users. Because particularly with the tools that we've developed, we have users in multiple continents who speak multiple languages. And so one of the things that we set up, starting with the pilot, was a help desk mechanism that was able to respond to questions from users about problems they were having with using these tools. And so we have tried to make sure that as JMS winds down and as the use of these tools continues to scale up, that there is a mechanism that we're leaving behind in place to help users.
So today we have 120 countries-ish, and maybe we have 40 countries with one or more dashboards. Not all countries need dashboards, because some of them might have their own techniques to be at the right level or to be in control. or some portfolios might be too small to make the dashboard cost effective. I think that there is still room for 20% more in terms of country coverage, in terms of dashboards, but more importantly, for those current countries, it needs to be grounded in normal management practice, as opposed to a one-shot implementation that might survive or might not survive. Most of those countries are kind of high impact or core countries for the Global Fund portfolio segmentation. So those are the biggest and the more impactful countries. So we really need to ground this practice in management practice. We need to ground this practice in something that is more kind of a routine as opposed to up and downs. So I'm expecting that from, for example, one phase of a grant to another phase of a grant, this should survive the grants period. We should have PRs requesting some support to get the dashboard implemented for the new period. And I think that this is where we are going to see a real improvement from the management practice standpoint.